Hello there, and welcome back to episode 2 of my tutorial mini-series for the sealed forest biome. So today we're going to uncover the seal, finally, after having set up ourselves a solid foundation in the previous episode. We have successfully braved a dangerous glade already and yielded some really nice rewards. That reminds me that we definitely should turn off the usage of the oil, as it would be really a shame to waste that. We also have here, in merely 1 second, 4 more people joining the city, so we'll have quite some extra hands to work with. We are currently not really capable of building another hearth anywhere, as there is just too much stuff standing in our way. But I think, yeah, here would be a eligible spot. So, yeah, well, there's a resource node in the way, though. That sucks. Well, all right, we're going to see how we're going to deal with that, but more about that once it's time for that. So we're right in front of the next storm season. I'll start the game at that point. As it is right now, really a situation of pretty easy pickings, as it is a hostility 0 storm. We literally have almost no hostility racked up whatsoever. We got a plague, though. These plagues are really dangerous, and let's see. It is already quite a nasty thing, as we will use up twice the amount of food for this entire storm season. That's what it roughly translates to. They will also take longer breaks. That means people will just use up more time. Alright, so let's get back to the packs. Last episode I wasn't drafting that, but I realized that this one is way too much of a no-brainer. This is going to increase the yields of our farms, and producing crop packs is not an issue at all, as we have the granary around the corner, even making this kind of production extra productive, and we have farms that crank out the materials necessary here. So, good stuff. Speaking about good stuff, we're going to start renovating this place here immediately, as this is really important. And since we have a couple of extra hands available, we're also going to man that crude workstation with 1 extra, and the small herbalist's camp receives the second harpy, utilizing the alchemy proficiency. I can only stress this out, and every single time, use these proficiencies. You're literally wasting resources if not. It's that important. So we're going to go and set up a couple of extra benches, but also here, gotta keep an eye out on that wood. But since we got extra oil on our reserve and there's constantly sea marrow flowing in via the abyssal tree felling, I'm not that paranoid around fuel usage. So let's take a short break and check out our situation. We got a leather worker, so fabric is available. We got a druid's hut, so oil is available, and we got a farm that provides the raw materials for that. So the druid's hut can produce coats, but not on a high proficiency. The clothier would be filling that gap. Interesting part insofar as the druid's hut is supposedly going to be more busy with the oil pressing. But this is something that I really don't like to do. This is, by the way, one hell of an uncomfortable draft. So we got already fabric, we got already coats. The scribe is somewhat interesting, but only with his tertiary affinity for tools. Everything else is here right not that important or interesting. So I don't want to go for the beaver houses as in year 2. This is way too early to draft that, so we're going to use that reroll that we got. Alright, so I already see the provisioner popping up, and this is a really good fit for the city as we have it right now. So we're going to go for that. As we got the small farm already, the provisioner is just the logical next step, sort of. That'll allow us to just get more done in the that'll unlock for us new sort of types of food. So we're now capable of using anything that involves flour. It's pretty brilliant. And flour, if I remember correctly, can, in the worst case, be made into trade good packages, I think. Either way, the Provisioner is a really good fit for our city as it is right now. So, we're going to pack that guy. Where do we going to pack that guy? I haven't placed those houses well. These are really in my way now, and this is how you get instantly punished for for not being attentive there. Well, we would be able to reposition them for a slight tax, but we're instead going to do this like this. So let's rotate the camera a little bit. As you see there, we're just going to put that back here. Then we're going to set a road in front of that, and I think that's just a very nice fit there. All right, let's go. We still got 3 idle hands, but I'm saving these as we are going to have to go for an event down here, and there's also plenty of building jobs right now, so it's fine to have lots of idle hands, aka builders, if there's lots to build. That's totally fine. Alright, so let's open the other order here. So, building material packages and crop packages in return for Harpy Clan support. Really powerful stuff. And here we get a freebie, basically. So, let's evaluate. We get a extra carrying for builders, sorta interesting. Nah, I'm going to go for aiding the flock, as this +3 on Harpy Resolve is invaluable. The rewards here, yeah, okay, 10 tools are really nice, but this is long-term wise much better. Alright, so let's see. We should totally turn in the reward for this, but not in this season, but we're going to wait until the next drizzle season. If you have reputation reward triggering rewards in the drizzle season, it's really a tough nut to keep that on the back of your mind. At least for me it is. But it's so much worth it, sadly, I have to admit. So, yeah. We should now immediately turn off the fabric production here, as these guys are massively wasting resources. So, we got here a specialization for tailoring. Tailoring is not an extra productive thing, but it makes the Harpy happy. And in my opinion and in my experience, everything which makes Harpies happy is good. Also, it's very funny to say Harpy happy out loud. You should try it. Anyways, Harpies have a natural tendency to have a really low resolve, and therefore putting them into buildings that gives them extra resolve is really good and powerful. Harpies tend to run away quite quickly, quite often. So, it's cornerstone time. Urban root production is increased for biscuit production. Nah. Porridge for drizzle water produced. Nah. So here, this is one wonderful example of a reroll. I mean, Lost in the Wilds ain't no bad advantage at all, but I don't like any of these. So we reroll. Grain production increases by every 25 times it's been produced. That's massive. That's just a no-brainer for this city, as we already have a farm. We just go for that and live a happy life henceforth. Now, new people arrive, and we're picking the smaller package again. It has been, I think, questioned a couple of times in the comment section. I just don't like picking up large numbers of people if my food production is dubious at best. So I always start to get very cautious if I feel insecure about my food production, and this is exactly what's currently happening. So that's the reasoning. Because I had been, I think this question has been raised a couple of times. Okay, so we're opening up that Dangerous Glade any second. Our woodcutters are doing foolish things here by cutting unmarked trees, but here's our friend the seal. And here's our problem for this glade. So, escaped convicts. We can either arrest them or persuade them. So we're definitely going to persuade them, as this brings us again here 5 people. So unavoidable +5 influx, but it is also accompanied by a lot of workers and a lot of food. Sorry, not a lot of workers. The workers are accompanied by food. Sorry. Lost my train of thought for a sec there. So this is pretty much easy to pick up, easy to process, and we're going to get there. A -6 on the resolve doesn't really bother us too much. And here we are at the Ancient Seal. So we got now different jobs. So as you see here, we need to resolve all these 4 jobs, and then we get to select one of these rewards, and a new set of challenges will be drawn, and once we have all 4 of these completed, we win the game. That's how it works. So we can now select whatever we want. It is, as far as I remember, not really any difference what kind of reward we take. Correct me where I stand wrong. So we have now a new job to fulfill. So I think we can now either go for the the package job or the cash job. That would be, in my opinion, a pretty decent one. So let's see what we can fulfill. We got a small cache here, which is in this regard and actually a real good one, but we have no second cache. We have a copper vein down here, so we can do some mining if we wanted to. We also have a bleeding tooth mushroom deposit and some large deposits that we cannot harvest yet. So that is, all in all, not the best situation to be in, but also not, by far not the worst. So I'm going to move the woodcutters now away from this frontier, as we have now what we wanted. So we're going to move each of these woodcutters into a territory where I already have marked overgrown trees. We're going to chop our way into this glade here as well eventually, because that's just the next best thing to do in my opinion. So let's see, hearth-wise. I think we're going to roll this way. Yeah, that's a good one. I just want to get a second hearth down ASAP, as this is always a good thing for your colony, because, oh sheesh, wood production is really low at that point. I bet that's the crude workstation wasting or lumber. Oh, dang it, I didn't put up any limits, so yeah. That explains a lot. This is the one thing that just should never happen. And here you see why. Wood is such a valuable resource. And these building materials, they should also be never on limitless production. So here's your lesson why. But don't you worry too much. We got this under control. Our woodcutters are delivering materials as we're speaking, so that's not a big issue at all. We should consider, though, bringing the amount of woodcutters a little bit up. As it stands right now, with the second hearth, we absolutely will be overburdened by having this only staffed out like that. So I put up the foragers camp with humans. So this is, to me, the easiest way to resolve that situation. Alright. Oh, I meant to pick up the path reward. A little bit derpy here. I'm very sorry. Now then, we can bring up a smelter, which is in all regards pretty amazing, as it is a continuous income of tools if we whip it up together correctly. But I spotted the cookhouse, so let's see. We ain't got no continuous income of the first skewers ingredient, but of the second one. And in any regard, the biscuits can also be produced here. So I'm definitely going to vote for the cookhouse, as this rounds up our city quite decently. So what are we lacking? Fabrics. Well, not that much longer. So let's do a forced delivery. Sometimes a pretty wise choice to do so, and set up second harpy into this spot here. But as you see here, we're pretty decent on the wood supply. Alright, so drizzle season is over. I have just made it in time to get the reward in. Almost skipped on that. And 5 more workers. Pronto express delivery. Okay, so we're going to wait until the hearth here is completed. That's absolutely important for us. Let's see, are we... Yeah, we are wasting all of our materials here. And what's really a bother for me is that on this entire map, there is no continuous form of brick, except for that copper deposit here. Since we have now successfully unlocked this thing here, I'm going to jump forward into the next glade, because we are lacking so many things. It's really mind-boggling. I'll take this reward here immediately, as the 30 crystallized dew will come in super handy. The rewards here are okay. The +1 on egg production might be pretty cool, but we're currently not okay. I'll keep it now. We can take it later or not, however we decide. So I'm stalling the Heart of Ember quest now a little bit, because I really do want to stabilize my situation a wee bit. But as you see here, the wood income is stabilizing the moment that the crude workstation is not eating up my wood like crazy anymore. So, several good things are happening. First up, we can undo the provision pack production and the crop pack production here, because we're perfectly able to rebuild those buildings. I'm going to set just one person doing that. Oh, we actually... here, rebuild. Because that's just all that we need. That's 130. We got a warehouse around the corner. Everything will be fine. We're going to dismantle that pointer, which is pretty useful. We have no stone income, so these marking stones are, as a matter of fact, pretty useful for us. So, let's see. Our quest demands 10 amber from us, so what could we sell? Not really much. So the resin isn't too important, but I also don't like to sell it as... Yeah, you can use it from time to time, so yeah, you know what, Sahilda? No trade today. Very sorry, but it is what it is. So we're going to start setting up shelters back here now as well. For, what is it? Ooh, 3 shelters even. Sweet. That's a wee bit... I don't know anymore if we're allowed to put them on the border or not. Can't copy a work-in-progress building? No, whatever. So, there goes. And we're going to add in the necessary decorations right away. This will put a bit of a strain on our wood income again, but it is worth it. So we're going to set up our woodcutter friends there to carve us a entry point on this glade, as it is vital now to progress further. We need... I think this cache opening quest might be probably the easiest way to get the job done. We don't have any tools though, so it's a wee bit of a problem. We do get some tools for the trading post resolve, but nowhere else. Well. It's pretty fine though. We have our grain income now. So, let's see. For starters, we're going to get ourselves the packs of provision down. But we just need that, actually, or that. So, either way, I'm waiting for the granary to be completed. We could now crank up the happiness of the heart piece now as well to get some resolve out of that. But since right now, for this map, this ain't the most important thing, I'm just okay with it. It ain't that important. What is important, I just realized, is that we put up that cookhouse ASAP. Which is quite a huge thing in itself. So let's get started building these crop packs. Luckily, humans have a proficiency in this job, so we can here again utilize our expertise. Another real cool thing is that we have the over diligent woodworkers trait, so barrels are being produced by making planks. So all in all, pickled goods are easily producible by our city. We are in a really good situation here, all in all. Okay, so let's keep it like that for starters. We have still pretty many idle hands. Like I said before, this is all okay if you have something to do. Right now, we don't have much to do, which is not cool. So let's build a couple of extra roads at least. I mean, our dudes get significantly faster on roads now, because we have that trait picked up. Now, skewers are not really that easily producible for us as of yet, but I think all we'd need would be a small trappers camp, so let's get this done. And we'd need somebody at the provisioners as well. Alright, we breached through, and we got ourselves reed fields or copper veins. So it seems to me pretty apparent that we're supposed to get our clay from mining in this map. That's what it is. We get a tea house to rebuild. Wow, that is pretty cool, as this allows us to make porridge, which is darned good, and tea is good for the harpies. So we get a pretty useful building there. A haunted beaver house, so we get a bit of minus global resolve, but we can have a 6 resident one. I haven't seen these before, that's a new one to me. And we gained a smokehouse, so we can make jerky and pottery and incense. So this glade was a real success. And it also features a large abandoned cache. So what's left to do is to get rid of that thing. So let's see. We either bury the entrance or we perform a ritual. So in this scenario, the ritual performance is absolutely more interesting to me. And look who's happy that he didn't sell away his resin. That's what I've been talking about. It's really, really a material that can have a lot of mileage on your city. So we do have to deal with a high hostility due to that, though, which is going to be a bit of a problem during the storm, but it's okay. We're going to deal with that. So we're picking up the warehouse here, as I personally think this is just way too good to not do it. Alrighty, so storm incoming. It's going to be a bit of a more serious storm, as it's going to pull the harpies, I think, into negative there. So the storm season even lasts longer. Cheers. Whatever. It's going to be fine. So here we're going to have to do our first resolve bouncing. So we're going to do this with the harpies. It's really important now that we do this here at the beginning. So what we're doing is quite simple. We're going to wait with the resolve until somebody starts to leave, and then we turn off the harpy resolve, and then we wait until one of the harpies leaves, and then we pray to whatever is holy that the storm's over already. Sounds like a plan? Because it is a plan. Now, we can also set up a firekeeper here. That should also help us a little bit here. Okay. And after this year, we should start consolidating our situation accordingly. With that, I mean that we're no longer rookies, and we can now safely start cracking the seal and trying to win the game. So the trappers camp will be manned up, and as soon as we have more people, we're going to man up the cookhouse as well. So here you now see that the beavers are close to going nuts. Oh, I think I waited too long. I'm sorry. I talked too long. So yeah, one of our people left. It ain't a big deal, though. It is just a hit on the impatience, and it doesn't kill anybody. So yeah, we have a bit of a hostility issue here. So what you also can do to avoid the leaving of people is you can sacrifice some material. Oh, it's blocked because of the Plague of Darkness. Never mind me. Alright, so newcomers are here. Are we going to pick up newcomers? I don't want to, in all honesty. So yeah, sometimes the plagues in this game are doing exactly that. So here in this situation, there is not much that we can still do. We can try to get the harpies now into a more happy environment, but as you see here, we already have a leather worker fully staffed out, and there is no other environment where they could be working right now. So it is what it is. We're therefore going to pick up the larger package of people this time, because that'll help us to mitigate the loss of people here. So one of our scouts left. This is always very important that you replace that immediately, otherwise the duration of the event will be longer. And now we could do another favoring of the harpies, but this would resolve most likely in a loss of population here yet again. So sadly, we are currently not really able to do something like that. I underestimated the severity of that, or basically, no, I didn't. I just didn't look up the next plague. So be smarter than me. You can always check out the next plague on this one to avoid situations like these. So for that one, we're going to save the lives of the harpy like that. Because the remainder of the storm, I just know that we would have lived through that. So if you can save somebody by doing this, by all means, do so. But as you see there, we did lose a bit of Queen's Impatience. That is one of the things that happened, but that is basically the only thing that happened from that. So losing people from time to time ain't the end of the world. That's the gist of it. So what do we have here? Newcomers arrive quicker. I'm not interested. Gain Wildfire Essence for dangerous glade events. Also not too interested. And gain supplies for glade events. Well, it's a bit sad that we just did that. So I'm going to re-roll that because none of these is really good or anything. So Exploration Expedition is fun, but I wouldn't take that for a city like that, which is not bound to win via resolve. Crowded Houses, interesting in its own rights, but I'm going to go for Cooking Steam, as this is really cool, because it will increase our food production on a really cool way that is not too difficult to pull up. I really like that. Okay, so we can go for advanced farming here, which is going to be really good, and a new blueprint rises. So we totally want the Carpenter's Workshop, as this is, well, it is a real hard competition here. The Brickyard would be amazing as well, as we currently have a very low intake of stone. We haven't found a single stone deposit in this run so far. I mean, that streak of bad luck won't last forever. I'm pretty sure that at some point we will find that. So let's compare further. But I think the competition here is just like... I will vote for the Carpenter, basically, or mostly because of the tools. There's a lot of things that we can make with tools, and I do own right now a pretty nice amount of crystallized dew already, and that allows me to resolve the first quest by opening caches. And that is pretty much what I want to do. We, of course, are skipping out on the opportunity to open them. We're going to send them to the Citadel, but at the same time, this gives us amber, and this is just a good resolution to all of our problems. So the Carpenter it is. There we go. We're going to set up that workshop immediately. And with those very few new workers that we got, rest in peace, Harpies. I'm very sorry about the crisis that I put us into. Let's see what we do for the next one. So hostility from discovered glades is increased for the next one. That's pretty hard. So that is also the end for today's episode. We're going to continue on the next one. There's only one thing that I want to do before this runs out. I want to limit the amount of crops here severely, as we don't want to forget that. So, drop me your comments down below, leave me your thumbs up, and consider subscribing. There is plenty of things to go around for the next episode, and I hope you're going to check out the description box as well. There's plenty of links to go around. There's Patreon, PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, and check out all those links. Feel free to support. I'm really, really grateful if you do. And of course, check out thanks for your support. That's what I want to say. Thanks for watching these videos, and see you all next time. Bye-bye.